$924 easy money. Now, this only took me literally 5 minutes of charting, 5 minutes of trading. I actually left, went to the gym, came back, and I was up $924. Set my take profit, set my stop loss, easy money. Now, if you want to learn how to do this, I actually took this live so you can actually see the whole process of how I did it. As well, for the rest of the video, I'm going to explain exactly how to do this. I'm going to break it down, show you some back testing, and show you how it's done. It is also a live account just to show you here for those who want to see. That right there, we are trading live. I'm actually currently in a trade right now. I'm actually currently up $216 in this trade right here. Exact same strategy, super simple. $900 yesterday. It's gonna be maybe like another 800, 900 today. Super easy, super simple. Let's get into the video. All right, so we are here trading a little bit later into the day. So what I normally do is I'll skim through the pairs here and just look for any incoming setups or setups that have already presented itself. So example here, so we connected the two highs, the two lows, and now we're just waiting for a breakout. So I could set an alert right here just in case there is a breakout there. Yeah, we do have a breakout here. This is the breakout candle here, and then we had price close above that. So we can go for a position on Euro GBP. As you can see, the euro pairs are breaking to the upside. So Euro GBP, we will take a position on this. Go for this one, go to here, do a 5 pip stop loss here and go for that. We're on Euro GBP, we're going to do 10 lots here. We are going to go for a buy. Go, we have entered, and position is about there. Are looking to make about $700 on this trade. Just a nice easy $700 for a Monday, and good way to start off the week. We'll be back. Okay, so we are back from the gym. I had to do a little bit of shopping too, but we're back now, and we ended up hitting our take profit very nicely. We hit it literally like say half an hour later. Was at the gym checking on it here and there, so we ended up closing out for $902 with Hanko Trade. Once again, boom. If you need a broker, sign up with Hanko Trade. They have great spreads. You're gonna absolutely love them. They've been great to me. I've been with them for a long time. I absolutely love them, and I will preach for them. I have gotten quite a few questions concerning picking the right broker, and especially unregulated brokers versus regulated brokers. Now, for those who are looking for something a little more regulated, I finally have a broker to suggest to you. For those who are looking for more of a regulated side to a broker, I have a great broker to suggest for that, and that is AAAFX. Hanko Trade is really good as well. I wanted some other options for those who are looking for something a little more regulated. Now, I know some of you can be a little bit concerned when it comes to regulated versus unregulated. So for those who want something a little more regulated, I would highly recommend signing up with AAAFX. So the links for both brokers will be down in the description below. So I hope that helps for those who want a more regulated broker. AAAFX will be for you. Now, if you're team regulated, go with AAAFX. If you are team unregulated, go with Hanko Trade. They are great. Now, if you're team both and you like to swing both ways on that, go ahead and sign up with both of them. The link will be down in the description below. Let's get right back into the video. So that was a easy 1 to 1.4. And you might be wondering, how do you do this? Well, I'm going to get into that right now. I have a whole video explaining exactly how to do this. Like I said, this is a very beginner strategy here, not super complicated. I'm making for this for people who are maybe new to trading. It's not too complicated, but it's also not super simple. It's a little bit easier to learn, so hopefully you can follow along, and yeah, enjoy the video. So for this strategy, it's very simple. You're only going to need 2 things. First of all, you're going to need to know how to use a trend line. That's all you need to do. And second of all, you will need to add a MACD. I cannot stress enough, MACDs are so important. You're going to need a MACD for this. It's not super complicated. Basically, an MACD, for me, the only reason I use it is to show the highs and the lows. That's the main reason I use it. There are some other ways you can use it too, but the most important part is it shows you where the true highs and the true lows are of the trend. So for example, this right here is a true high. Between the green here and the green here, we pick the highest point, which would be right here. And this is the true high of this trend that's going on right now. Right, and then you're also going to do the same thing for the lows. You're going to pick the lowest part, in between the red, and that's the true low. So that's something to pay attention to. If you want to add the MACD, it's super simple. You just go up here to indicators. You see moving average, convergence, divergence. You search that up, you'll find it. You can take off, here are my settings here. You can take off the MACD and the signal and just leave the histogram there, and that will give you these bars. And you can also change the colors to whatever you want. And yeah, so that's pretty simple there. So we're gonna pick Euro USD. I'm picking Euro USD just because this is one of the most standard Forex pairs that you're gonna trade, especially as a beginner. It's pretty volatile, but it moves a little bit more coordinated than most other pairs. Some other pairs can be a little bit crazier, a little bit more volatile and sporadic. Euro USD usually has some better form to it. So that's why we're trading Euro USD today. All you're going to want to do for this is you want to connect the previous two highs. So as you can see, this is a high here and this is a high here. We're going to connect them with a trend line, right? We're going to connect them with a trend line like that. And we want to see price break above that. And then we're also going to pick the two previous lows here and here. And we want to run a trend line through that. And we want to see price break below that. So if we get a break on either side, we're going to trade to that direction. Now you might think to yourself, this is trend line trading. Well, no, it's not technically trend line trading, because most trend line trading is you're selecting the entire trend and you're waiting for price to break it and then you're going out. In this strategy, we're taking pieces from a trend. You might necessarily not even be in a full trend, but we're taking just the two previous highs and the two previous lows. So you're getting these quick breakouts and you're making easy money on that. And I'll show you just how it works. Okay, so we're going to go back a little bit here and we're just going to use the replay mode, and we're going to come all the way back here. Just going to select a random time and to show you now. So we select the two previous highs, and if you need help selecting them again, I'll just show you right now. So you select from this green to this green and you pick the highest spot. So the highest spot is going to be right here. And then same thing here. You pick that, and you pick the highest spot in between. The highest spot is going to be here. Then all you're going to do is you grab the trend line right here, or sometimes it's on the side. I have mine favorited, so it's up there. And you just run it through. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just run it through like that, and there you go. That is your top trend line. And then we're going to do the same for the bottom. Find the highest spot. As you can see, the lowest spot is right there. The lowest spot here is right there. And all you're going to do is you're going to run it right through. Now, the key to this is updating it. So every time there's a new low that forms and a new high that forms, you need to constantly update it. So we're going to go through a little bit, see if we can get a break to either side. We do not get a break to either side, but now we have a new low. So now this is the old low here, and we have a new low here. So we update it for that. And then we also have a new high that has formed here. So we're going to connect the high, and we're going to wait for a new break. So we have a break to the downside, as you can see here. And we also have a pullback. So the key about this is waiting for a pullback into the line as well, which is very important. We have a pullback into that line. So now we're going to go for a sell, and we're simply just going to go for a 1-to-1. Now you might be wondering, where do I place my stop loss? You want to also kind of account for this trend line here, kind of pull it out. See, you will get some resistance off of that a little bit. So make sure to have your stop loss above that. You can also, a lot of beginners know about support and resistance. So that is something that can also help too for placing your stop loss there. So we have a little bit of resistance here, a little bit of resistance here. So it seems like majority of the resistance happens to be in this area. So if we take a square here. There's a brush tool too. This general area is going to have a lot of resistance in it. So as long as you have your stop loss above that, you're good. And I don't want to get too complicated with the stop loss and the take profit yet. This is simply for beginners. If you're learning and you want to keep it simple, you want to learn the basics, but you still want to also trade, this is really good for you. And it's important to put a 1-to-1 for now until you can actually learn and understand where price goes. Then only can you start going for bigger take profits and whatnot. So there's a nice little 1-to-1 here. And then as you can see, just like I called out, see how, let me actually get rid of this so you can see. I'm going to get rid of this scrabble here. If I get rid of this, as you can see right where I scribbled, we had resistance, right? Like I said, price could have moved up if it had a little bit more momentum, but we would have had more resistance off of that. But as you can see, these wicks have some resistance. So now we're going to clear all this, clean it up a little bit, and we are going to continue. So once again, I'm going to select a low right here to the new low that is formed there. Then we're going to select a high to the new high that is formed here. Boom, boom, boom. Now, something that is actually presenting itself now, which is really important to for this trading as well, is you want to make sure to pay attention to when price breaks out, because it's important to know. So this candle here, price has broken out. This is not a break yet. This is not a true break yet. A true break is only when you have a break candle, which is this candle here, the candle that is broken out. And then you need a candle to close above that as well. Now, if you have a candle close above that, that is considered a true break. If this next candle can close above, which as you see, there's some resistance there because it's not a true break yet. We're going to go for another one here. You notice how there's some resistance off of that and price is not closed above. This is actually where a lot of traders get faked out. This is where a lot of traders get caught out because they aren't following this rule. Now, this rule isn't common knowledge. This is something that I discovered over time. I'm here today sharing that with you. Hopefully that's a trick that will help you in your trading, help you lose a lot less. So we did not have a true break there. So we're going to continue to look for the next trade. Okay, so we have a new high forming. So once again, we're going to drag this to here and then go to the new high there. Whoops, just clean this up a little bit, make it a little bit better. And then we have a new low that is formed here. Okay, new low again. Boom. Something that's also really important. I don't want to make it too confusing, but this is important to know, and hopefully it's not too confusing. A true high and a true low is only when there are 3 candles in a row on the MACD. So it has to be a minimum of 3 MACD bars in a row for it to be a true high. So back here, this little one green dot, that is not a high. This whole red thing is just one low. It has to be at least 3 to be a true high. So now we have a true new high here and a true new high there. So we are going to connect those, right? And then we have a new one there. So we're going to play this through. See if we can have a break of it yet. So now we have another true high there. We're going to play this forward. Okay, this is getting juicy now. So if we spread this out, as you can see, we're starting to break through now. Okay, so this right here is the break candle because we had a close below the line. Now we need a candle to close below that wick for it to be a true break. Go. As you can see, it was having trouble and we did not get that. So once again, if you were trading here, you could have got faked out and you would have lost some money there. That's why you must follow that rule. It's very important. Da, 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 da. Ooh, okay. Oh, have it on playing through. Okay, so now we have a true, not a true break yet actually, because we had this right here was the break candle. Now we need price to close above that line. And if we have price close above it, then we have a true break. Looks like we did not have a true break. Now we have to also update the past 2. So we're going to update that right now. Boom. As you can see, it's getting wider now, right? So, okay, now we have the new true lows. Boom. Boom. And it looks like we might have a break here. So we have a candle that has broken out. Now we need price to close above that. And we have price close above it. Perfect. So once again, we're going to take our entry on this line here and we're going to look back to some support and resistance areas like here. What else can we mark? Maybe some resistance there. It's like, so yeah, it looks like this kind of main area right here could get a little heavy. So we will pull price back to 50 pips. Now, this is also something if you're a beginner that will help you as well. A lot of trading is the fight between risk and reward, obviously. So if I place it here, I can have a smaller stop loss. And if I'm going for a 1-to-1, I can have a smaller take profit, which now chances are likely that I will hit my take profit. But it's also likely that I might hit my stop loss. So if I want to protect myself from that, I can go all the way down here and then go all the way up there. Now it's a bit harder to hit my take profit, but it's also a bit harder to hit my stop loss. But if we scroll back, as you can see, we're at quite the low right now. So there is a good chance that it can come back up. So we are going to take the bet on that chance. So after weighing our options, it's better to go with a larger stop loss. That way we're less likely that it'll hit our stop loss, and we are looking for a buy here. Boom. That's why you weigh your options, because of this. If I chose to put my stop loss right here, we would have been out of a trade and we would have watched it go right up to where our take profit would have been. And then we would have started crying and getting upset and saying, Forex knew I placed my trade there. Why does Forex hate me? Well, it's not Forex, it's your decision making. So you need to understand that. Okay, now, so we haven't updated our trend lines in a while. So we're going to do that right now. We have a new low right there. And we have a new high right there. Okay, so we also had, it looks like we had price breakout here, and then we had another close. Look at that, we had another close above that, pull back into the trend line. So let's say we took our trade there. We are already ready for another trade. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a trade here because we wanted to trade on the pullback into the trend line. We have the pullback to the trend line. And now, once again, we got to figure out where to put our stop loss. So once again, you're going to look for a spot of support and resistance. This could be a spot here, another spot there. Now, another thing you can do is run this a little bit back through here. That doesn't really matter too much. So looks like we have more support and resistance here. So it seems like a good spot to put it would be here. Now, on this trade, I'm going to take a little bit more risk here. We could lose this trade. I see a lot of resistance here. I don't see it coming all the way back down here. Now, obviously, I can't tell the future, but let's see, what are we at? 52. Now we can go and split the difference. We go halfway in between. This is something I like to do too. Just place it below that. Put our stop or take profit up there. Okay, we are going to take this trade. Now look at that. Okay, well, we would have lost this one anyways. But see, I am not a fortune teller because it did actually come down and tap into this. Now, if I had my stop loss below there, like I was initially going to do, obviously, this is what happens when you take that risk. See, that's what I'm saying. But also, we would have lost this trade anyways, because if we had it to a 1-to-1, we would have never got not even halfway to that. So this would have been a loss right there. So we're going to count that as a loss. I'm going to clean up the charts again. Okay, so we're going to do this again. Connect that. Then we're going to connect the two previous lows. This is a low here through that. So we did actually have a break here. Now we want price to pull back and enter there. Stop loss there. Go for a 1-to-1. Okay, so now this is actually a good example too. So once price has pushed far down and has not pulled back, we're going to go ahead. We're going to abandon this trade and we are going to select our new highs and our new lows. But we are going to actually close that one. We're going to start two new ones there. So now we have a high here, high there. We connect them, low there, low there. Now we're waiting for a break. Okay. Here we got a break to the upside. Try to take a buy there, stop loss there. Okay, so once again, price never came back and touched into the line. Price actually continued forward. We are going to close this trade again. So now we want price to break through that. We had price break through here, officially closed. We want price to come back down to the trend line, enter off that resistance there. So we set below and we go for a 1-to-1. Okay, so price did not come back to our entry, so we are going to abandon that. And then the highest point there. You want to get a break. So we had a break here. Now we just need price to actually come down and close below that. But if we don't get that, then it's not a true break. It's actually just a fake out. Looks like that was a fake out. We live to see another day after that one. And then that's our new lower trend line. And this is our new higher trend line here. Pop, pop. Let me update this one. This is a new one. Okay, so we're getting smaller and smaller. We're getting a little bit more compressed and compressed. So now we're probably gonna have some sort of breakout like we have here. Okay, let's see here. We had price close below and then price close below there. So this is an official break. We want to see price come back to our trend line, but it never did. Okay, so price never ended up pulling back to our trend line. It actually just went straight down. So this is no longer a trade that we should be looking at anymore. Da-da-da-da. So we are going to update our new lows. There you go, low to a low. And then our high is still the same for now till we get a red part. There we go, there's our red part there. Then we are going to update our new high. Okay, so this is our new high trend line here. We have a break there. So we just need a candle to close above the top of this candle here. And we get a close. So this is good to enter here. Now, since we're already kind of close to our trend line. Okay, so this is actually something that is really important to discuss as well. When you get further and further into your trading career, you'll start to learn the differences of when you can enter and when you cannot. You'll start to learn just a whole bunch more about how the market actually moves. So like I said, you have to usually wait till it comes back to the trend line. My reasoning here, it is already so close to the trend line. And because we have this nice breakout here going on, I don't want to miss this trade. I'm going to set my stop below here and I'm going to set to a 1-to-1. I don't want to miss this trade, particularly because I know that price has the potential to go back up to the previous high. Our target is actually even just below that. So we'll most likely hit that. And as you can see, we're kind of bouncing around right now within the zone. We just hit the bottom. So we're most likely making our way up to the top. Now, I'm getting a little bit too complicated now, a little bit more in depth. But that's what I'm saying. So this beginner strategy is really good because it's a very basic strategy. But as you start to grow and develop in your trading career and you start to understand and learn more, you can start adding your own flavor to the trading to make it your style. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and enter here. Now, if you waited, you could have probably entered off that. It didn't particularly touch the line, but you could have entered off of that too, or entered off that. But see, that's another thing too. So everything you do in trading is weighing out the probabilities and the risk versus reward. So I took the risk of entering early because I know price is going to go up from here. But if you waited, you could have possibly missed it. Luckily, you didn't miss it here because it did tap into the trend line. So either way, you would have been fine. And as you can see, it's our take profit there. So we're going to continue to look for one more trade just to show you another example. So we connect the two previous lows. Okay, and then we're going to play it out. We want to make sure that we're constantly updating the highs and lows. So two previous highs, two previous lows. Let's see if we can get a price to break out either side. Couldn't quite get price to break there. And then we have a new low here that has formed. And then this is still previous high here. Okay, so we have a breakout candle right here. We need price to close above that to take a trade to the upside. So as you can see, price wasn't able to close above that. We had these wicks. Once again, this would have probably been another fake out. We'll see what happens. Maybe not, maybe a fake out. Looks like it would have been a fake out there. And as you can see, we have a, so basically if you took the trade there, most likely you would have got faked out. This is why the true break rule is very important. Okay, so now we're almost having a break here, looks like. Now, let's see. So this here was the breakout candle. So as you can see here, it's kind of resisting. Again, we need price to break below that for there to be a trade. Nice. We have a break below that. Now we can wait for price to come back and touch in the line to take a sell again here. But once again, I'm going to go for a sell here. You could wait for price to actually come back up there if you wanted to, although I'm going to enter now. That is the risk I'm willing to take. Enter now. You might miss out on 27 pips or so. Not a big deal when you're going for 1-to-1s though. And then for take profit, I'm going to check out some potential areas where price could come to. Just going to kind of run through here and kind of look at where the resistance and the support is. Some support there. So it seems like there's a little bit, like this is a little bit deeper of a target profit you could go for. However, we're also in an uptrend right now. The momentum is switching. The momentum is switching to the upside. You want to pay attention to that. So having a big pull down here could be a lot. See here, we also have some resistance here. So I'm going to go for a 1-to-1 here. Now this is going to be a little bit more riskier because we have resistance here, but price could also touch up into there. But we're going to go for this. There we go. So price goes straight into it, and let's see if it would have went all the way down here. And looks like price never would have ended up touching there. So sometimes you have to take the risk going for a little bit of a smaller take profit. If you see, you know, if there's more resistance on the upside here, it's probably better to go for a smaller take profit. But now I'm dabbling into way too much, especially if you're a beginner. I'd say for now, the easiest thing to do is just to learn how to mark these out and to watch and learn how they react when they're broken. How far do they go? Where do they go? Pay attention to fake outs, pay attention to true breaks, watch how that works. Anyways, so we took, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. We lost one, you know, out of 5 trades, we lost one. Obviously, over a lot of back testing, you're gonna have some more losses, more wins, but overall, it's pretty profitable. Like I said in the beginning, it's not super profitable. You do have to tweak some things to get it exactly how you want, get it to be more profitable. You know, adjust your stop loss and adjust your take profits over time. Obviously switch up your risk to rewards. But like I said, that comes with time. So that's something you're going to have to learn. But yeah, like if I was a beginner, I would definitely start with this. Anyways, thanks for watching.